morning, good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're not, if you hit the like.
Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun. My name is Ron E. Bradley. And I hope that wherever you are out there watching, you are having a phenomenal day, morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whenever it may be. Happy Valentine's Day. That's right. As of the recording and live streaming of this, today is the 14th day of February 2025, which makes this Valentine's Day. Happy love, 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 love. If you want to put hearts in the chat, you can put hearts in the chat. Happy Valentine's Day to my beautiful wife, who's out there watching. We skip to Malou, skip to Malou. You know, one of the things that I love about what I do here is that you guys know that it's real. Okay. One of the things that I like to point out, and you guys realize this, when you're watching a show like this, there's no production cost, no high production cost or anything like that. Why? Well, because it's real. I'm sure that this channel will grow over time. We got 13,000 subscribers. I feel like I'm just getting started out, because in the midst of starting a YouTube channel, it's your audience that ends up defining the YouTube channel. And that's what you guys are doing for this, for Follow the Bradley's Fun. You guys are defining the channel by what you want to watch, the content that you want to watch. And those that come in here to the Daily Dish every single day, you guys absolutely inspire me. As I'm sure those of you that come in here every day are familiar with, you guys are the Energon to my Transformer, to my Autobot. You're the Energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning to be here with you.
Toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! This stuff's the greatest!
And although I don't actually have Energon, I do have what's called Energize in my invisible Snoopy cup today. Energize from Beachbody. Don't share that link, Go and Shogi, because I'm going to have a new link to share eventually with you for the fitness stuff. There's all kinds of new products coming out too. But that's a whole different thing. And I tell you what, my January and February, not so far the year that I have wanted, with zero distractions. A lot of people don't understand. I have some issues. It's true. I absolutely do have issues. But the thing about working through issues is sometimes you need to work through those issues without distractions, and those distractions make it that much more difficult to work through those things. So here I am, working through them live with you guys. Thank goodness you guys are all, you show up, and you make me so happy. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Speaking of each and every one of you, let's say hi to everybody that is out there in the chat. Jeremy Heath was first through the door. My great wrench, Jeremy Heath. Hello, my friend. Hello. I just called to say hello. I think about you every morning while I'm doing the Daily Dish, and I see your chat on the screen. Hello. Dan's Life of the Kingdom says we must rebuild the Avengers, Ron. Yes, that is the whole point of the Falcon, and I think you've seen it. That's not a spoiler either, because it's in the previews, in the trailers, the whole line about rebuilding the Avengers. A lot of the movie was spoiled. There are no big surprises in the movie. We'll get to that in a minute, but we'll talk about that. Aloha and good morning, y'all. What is up, Native Hawaiian? And Tom F has come through the door. Our wrenches, Dan and Tom and Jeremy and Go and Shogi, I think, is here too. I think I see him. Good afternoon. Follow the Bradleys in chat. Juliet, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. Your support every day. Go and Shogi, good morning. Good morning, Go and Shogi. How is California today? And people saying hi to each other. Always appreciate that. Tommy Doyle is in the house. I see Tommy Doyle with a hail. Hail, Tommy. And Tom F says, I'll be ninja watching. I got some errands to do for Linda. I totally understand that. Hope she's doing well. I know that surgery was tough. I saw the pictures, man. Lots of prayers for Tom and Linda, both. They are going through a lot right now. So big time prayers for Tom and Linda. We appreciate you guys so much. And it's always good seeing you in person too, like we did at MegaCon Saturday night. That was awesome. Arlene Navo starting Friday off with that Neil Diamond. Turn on your hot light. Let it shine for all the world to see. Baby loves me, yeah, she does, cherry, cherry. She got the way to move me, cherry. She got the way to move. So, fun fact, I once performed at Six Flags, 1992, long time ago, right? Three decades, 3.5 decades ago almost. So in 1992, the show that I was in was called Rhythm Nation, and we shared the stage with the Legends. Those are the people that, the impersonators, right? So Neil Diamond was one of the impersonators, or not the Neil Diamond. There was a Neil Diamond impersonator in that show. But the funniest one was Elvis. And the reason why Elvis was the funniest is because there was a time when I also played Batman in the nighttime show. So I would come into my dressing room and change into the Batman costume, or at least grab the Batman costume. I feel like did I change into it? Anyway. So I'm sitting there, and Elvis, the guy that plays Elvis, is changing into his Elvis does, and I'm changing into my Batman costume. And he looks over at me and he goes, "The things adults will do to get paid." That was pretty funny, coming from Elvis, you know. Let's see this other chat coming up here. We got Native Hawaiian. What there? And Braylon Lee is in the chat. What is up, Braylon Lee? If it weren't today's particular specific review, and I'm not really recording this for anything, I would have you on today, but so today's show is going to be a little bit shorter, guys. I do want to let you guys know today's show is a little bit shorter. For those of you that know, we do have a fun new celebration. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention our celebration, the thing that we do to celebrate all of you, or things, because I got a bunch of these celebration assets now they're building. I love to celebrate each one of you for being here, for watching the show, and especially anytime there's that extra support, those super stickers, super thanks, super chats. Anytime you guys donate through PayPal or buy me a coffee or buy something from the Spread Shop, I'll put that on the screen in a minute, the Spread Shop. Any of those types of support, anybody becomes a member, or there's new memberships dropped in the chat, gifted memberships, gifties, as culture likes to call them, we like to do a celebration. And we have several of them on the chat, but the newest one I am definitely reserving for just in case we happen to get one of those extra special gifties today. Sometimes I just throw the celebration down just because I love all you and we want to see it. What does a celebration look like? It might look something like this. So Arlene says, "Oh my goodness, I remember that show, that Six Flags show. I think we had Rhythm Show. We had definitely had the Batman show in Houston too. The shows are never exactly the same. I know that elements of Rhythm Nation were used in other shows, but in Houston, I think in 1992, wasn't Houston still another version of Opryland? It changed over at some point in time, and I can't remember when it was. It might have changed over before 1992. Fiesta Texas, right? Six Flags it was like there was Opryland, and then that changed over to Six Flags Fiesta Texas. And I don't know if it's even there now. There was a water park. I think Schlitterbahn was there too, or was that somewhere other than Houston? I'm not sure. I do know that entertainment was it just played a prominent role in theme parks when I was young, and there's been so much cutback in Six Flags Astro World. Yeah, there's Astro World. Maybe Astro World and Fiesta Texas were actually two different places. I've never been to either one of them, so I've heard of them and I saw audition notices, but I don't think I ever auditioned for Houston. Although my dad does live in Houston now. Actually, he did then too, because he moved out in 1991 or 2 down to Houston, and he's lived there ever since. But anyhow, as Lou always say, anyhow, I think I picked that up from Lou Wasserman's Ghost. So today's show is going to be relatively a short show. So I'm going to do my little quick review and then I get off here. My sister is visiting us from Amsterdam, and it's also Valentine's Day. So I got to let you guys go and celebrate all your Valentine's Day things, and I got to get going and celebrate my Valentine's Day things. So it's an abbreviated show. I wish that I could do more. There's a lot more that I want to be able to do on the channel. A lot of people don't understand how much time YouTube stuff takes. So like if I want to put up a 10-minute video, that's going to be probably a 4 to 5 hour project for me in the editing process. And that's just if I do a news commentary type video. Could be longer, could be a little bit shorter. It'll be shorter if I can streamline the process, and hopefully that will also happen soon. But even my commentary videos take time. If I want to do like a full-blown vlog video, that can take many more hours than that. That vlog video that I put out for the first day of MegaCon, that was crazy because I went to MegaCon, I stayed up late that night, I lacked sleep, which is never good for me at my age. And I put that together in about 4 hours, and then I got it uploaded, and then another hour the next morning getting the thumbnail and the description and all that together. All that stuff takes time. And the hardest part about YouTube is a lot of times your family and friends, they don't understand that you're working. Like, this is my job, guys. I'm working. I know I'm in my home, but please don't distract me when I'm here because I am trying to do my job. It's very difficult. People don't understand it. It's a different world, right? So I get that they don't understand it, but it's almost impossible to explain, especially if they're not watching your stuff. And my family and friends, they may not be interested in the same stuff that I'm interested in. So I totally get that they may not watch this, but that's fine and that's fair and that's stuff. But it's much easier to understand. Like, let's say that somebody was working a job at JCPenney or Target, right? If you're a family or friend of them, you're not going to go up to Target and try to bother them the whole time that they're working. But people will do that to you if you're just doing your YouTube stuff because they don't get it. They don't get it. My beautiful wife is here. She's in the chat. Yes, she gets it because she works on YouTube as well. So she definitely gets it. But yeah. No, I'm not. I know you understand because you are working just as hard as I am. And we are doing this together, baby. Look, baby, look what I got on here for you. It's the Valentine's Snoopy. Snoopy is my wife's favorite thing. So that's for you. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Good morning to my mom. My mom is in the chat. Hello and good morning. Welcome into the Fun Fan Live. Yes, I tell you what, YouTube, it's such a different beast. And you can do a lot with a little. And that's one of the coolest things about YouTube is that you can do a lot with a little. And yeah, love it. I'm putting her arts in the chat. And another thing is I do this show in the morning, and I do it while I'm drinking my caffeine. And you guys know, you're probably like, when I was sitting there at home watching shows like this, it's like, I don't know, all the burps and all the little throat stuff, and you don't even realize all the things you do in the morning until you start doing a show like this, and you're like, oh my gosh. Cedar Point. Okay, so here's the thing about Cedar Point. I believe that it's not just Cedar Point. I think it's also Kings Island, right? Kings Island has the Snoopy stuff too, the Charlie Brown, the Snoopy. I've been there. And that is definitely on my list to take my wife to where all the Charlie Brown and Snoopy stuff is at those parks, because that's super important. Also, for those that are sad that the Muppets are going away from Disney World and Muppet Vision 3D is going away, that is sad and that is tragic, but the Muppets have huge representation over at SeaWorld. And so if you're a big Muppet fan, if you like that kind of stuff, and you were going to go to Walt Disney World, I would suggest redirect your trip, your vacation plans to SeaWorld, where you can see all of the Sesame Street Muppets. There's an entire Sesame Street land that you can go to now. And there's a parade. You can see Mr. Hooper's shop. You can see Big Bird. Sesame Street representation over at SeaWorld is fantastic. Oh, my goodness gracious me. So, in the chat, if you have any Valentine's Day plans, I would love to know what they are. This hasn't been the kind of year where I can plan ahead for a lot of things so far. I have not really been able to make a good amount of head plans. You probably noticed that I haven't streamed from the parks. I haven't been to the parks very much this year yet. There are reasons for that I'm not going to get into all of that, but I haven't really been able to be in an environment where I can just get completely focused yet. So I think that's happening soon, and I'll be able to completely focus on things. It's a real challenge when you're growing something like a YouTube channel. In the growing process, you actually need more focus. I need more focus now in the growing process, probably than I'm going to need 3 or 4 years from now when this thing is running like a well-oiled machine. Because growing a YouTube channel is a learning process. It's not just a growing process, it's a learning process. And all the things that I'm going to need to know now, I was going to need to know, or all the things that I need to know now, I'm not going to find out for another 3 or 4 years, right? So learning, growing, all of that stuff. That is why WDW Pro is so helpful to me, because he helps me keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. And I appreciate that from him. My Energize is all in. I will be able to get my workout in later. That stuff takes me about it. A lot of people say they take pre-workout like 15 minutes before they work out. I don't know how your body processes things so fast. But for me, if I take a pre-workout to work out, the reason I'm doing it during the show is because it takes a good hour to an hour and a half to really kick in for me. Very strange. But some people will drink pre-workout literally 15 minutes before they drink out and say that it's somehow affecting them already. But for me, it takes time. Good morning from the Bud Files. Braylon says, if I were in Orlando a day at Volcano Bay, you heard I have no V-Day plans. Volcano Bay would be nice. I don't have an annual pass to that, but honestly, I kind of over water parks. I don't know. My wife got really, really injured at a water park about a decade ago now, but it was a really bad injury, and we kind of strayed away from water parks since then. I had a horrible experience when I was a kid at Wet n Wild here in Orlando. I got a thunder wedgie going down one of the slides, and I think I was 10 years old at the time, and it was so embarrassing because I went down one of those torpedo slides where you just go whoosh, straight down, and I got a thunder wedgie, and it sparked a certain reaction from my backside, and I had to run to the restroom, and I wasn't able to hold all of that stuff, and I'm sure that the custodial staff wasn't very happy with me at that point. Oh, my mom remembers. She's like, oh no, don't tell that story. Don't tell that story. It was so embarrassing. Yes. Wow, it was you know how they say that certain things are a ish show. It was definitely that and more. It was boy, was that not a fun time. And that happened at the Wet n Wild here, which is now no longer Wet n Wild. It's actually it's one of Lorena's favorite places to stay. It's over there now. It's actually a hotel that they built. Is that when Nolan Thunder get? No. Yeah, that would be funny. I don't think. Hopefully, I will never get a wedgie from Nolan Thunder. The Thunder from Down Under. That's on the show. I truly love Theme Park Universal, and yeah, no, I haven't made it to. I want to go to Volcano Bay. My understanding is it's the best water park in Orlando. I love my favorite ride at a water park is not a water ride. This is so weird. My favorite ride at a water park is at Blizzard Beach, but it's not a water ride. It's the gondola thing that you ride up to the top so that you can go on the water ride. Really, really funny. It just, oh my gosh. Guys, let me show you my spread shop real quick. I don't know why I don't have this up on the screen yet. Probably because I wasn't really planning on presenting anything. But I do have a shop. I know that, and Go and Shogi, Go and Shogi, you bought a hat. Hold on just a second, guys. My throat decided. There we go. I think I'm better now. Let's see if I can put this on the screen. So, you bought a hat, right? Go and Shogi. Which hat was it that you bought from the spread shop? You can put the link up here. Let me do this. I want to go to all products. 4 days left, guys. 22% off of everything. We are having a President's Day weekend sale off of everything in the spread shop right now. 22% off. You've got the Make Disney Walt Again hat, the one I am wearing. And of course, you can get that as a t-shirt. Get it on a coffee mug. There it is on the coffee mug, just flat out. I love the black design of that. Great if you're working and you're a Disney fan, but if you're an old school Disney fan, you want to buy the coffee mug, put it on your work desk. That would be great. You've got the Follow the Bradley's Fun fedora design. And with my favorite backdrop on the fedora design is this one. And of course, you've also got the Follow the Bradley's Fun family avatar design. That's down here. Get it on a hat, for example, if you want to use that hat. And you've got hoodies, which will be good for that 6 more weeks of winter. So again, 22% off a hoodie is about $40 instead of $50. So get it while you can. Those are good. You bought the red Make Disney Walt Again hat, so you'll have to send me a picture when you have that. All of these products are printed when you order them, so they're all printed for you. They're like the product you get is made specifically for you when you order this. So these are not pre-printed or anything like that. They're made on the go. And the quality of the merchandise is fantastic. So let me get this off here. So before we get going to the on our quick story of the day. By the way, I don't know, has anybody on Culture Watch? Has Culture dropped his link yet? Because we are going to redirect to Culture Casino. My story today is going to be fairly short. I'm going to see if I can redirect. If he's got his link up. Yes, there it is. Right. So there's the redirect. That's been added. So the preview: Culture Casino Disney employee dissent grows as Iger capitulates on Trump DEI. I guarantee you it is a small group of employees with loud, obnoxious voices. And I might have to do more on that story later, but yeah, the hidden DEI stuff, it's still there. The hidden stories matter is still there. It's just hidden. But I will leave that up to culture to talk about that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, we want to get to our story. But first, we want more celebration.
Right, everyone? But you wanted more?
Yes, I know you wanted more. So, what does the celebration look like? Just as a reminder, it might be something a little bit like this.
Is it too much?
Too much? It's your birthday!
Oh, this is just the best of us. OCDD 93, you have come in just in time. And yes, anytime we do a celebration, you guys got to throw down your member emojis and all that. If we get a super chat, 99-cent super sticker or above, stickers, chat, doesn't really matter. I'll play the new one for you guys. You know, the one that you love so much, the new celebration. If you were here yesterday, you might know what that is. But yeah. So let's get to the story. Captain America, Brave New World. Let's check in with Rotten Tomatoes and see where we are on Rotten Tomatoes before I give my review. We'll share this tab. We have an audience score now, too, so that's interesting. All right, so let me put this up on the screen. There it is. Captain Falcon and America's New Braves. Oh, wait, I might have mistold that. This movie has been mistitled, okay? This movie should be called Thaddeus Ross, His Journey to Redemption. This is not a Captain America movie, guys. I hate to spoil it for you, but it is not a Captain America movie at all. Not even Sam Wilson's Captain America, because it's not. Sam Wilson doesn't take a journey in this movie. He doesn't. There's no. His character is the same at the end as it is in the beginning. I'm trying to figure out how to get on the screen when I want. There's this splash thing here up top, and as I move down, it kind of halfway goes away. See that? How that's weird. All right, so we've got 52% on the tomato meter. We've got only 79% on the popcorn meter. Now, you have to realize something. The people that have gone to see this so far on opening day, that's the only people who would be commenting on the popcorn meter. That means either people like me who go because we have to go to review this, or people who are actual huge enough Marvel fans that they wanted to go see this on opening day. So this popcorn meter, this is actually coming from the biggest Marvel fans out there, and it's still only achieving from the biggest Marvel fans out there, from the biggest shills, from the people that really, really want this to be good. It's still only got a 79%, which is crazy. And I also don't know how to make this banner go away. I don't know how to. It's kind of annoying because as I scroll down, it does that, but then it doesn't. It's so weird. It won't let this be revealed at the same time. That's just kind of strange. I'm not a huge fan of Rotten Tomatoes, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. Let's see what the top critics have to say before I give my review, okay? So we are going to look at these top critic reviews first. To give you an audience review and to tell you why they're not really great reviewers. Fun movie to watch. The MCU is finally heading in the right direction. That's the whole review right there. Katie Walsh, top critic, says it's too much to saddle his standalone film with this much exposition. And yet, Mackie and Ona bear it with as much grace as they can. A decent political thriller. By the way, there's not really any politics in this. I'll explain that in a minute. The politics in this, they don't really exist, and I'll explain why in just a moment. A decent political thriller was something culturally resonant to say that exceeds mere comic book particulars. This movie has nothing to say of cultural relevance, so I would have to 100% disagree with that. There's nothing culturally relevant about this movie. Again, guy gets mad and turns red. That it's not that big of a deal. If Brave New World isn't an event film, at least it's competently executed without resorting to played out gimmickry such as skipping across the multiverse. Okay, it literally talks about the multiverse in this movie. So I don't know what this guy was talking about, but it gives the audience plenty of analogs to the real world, but except it doesn't. It doesn't at all. And I'll explain that too. Despite Mackie and Ford's best efforts, a disappointing and lackluster filler shouldn't be the feeling associated with Captain America, and yet the Star-Spangled film is devoid of care and heart. That is by Kalichi Ehanulo of Movie Marker. And I could be wrong, but it appears to be an African-American person. But I could be wrong. I don't know much about appearances, but that's the avatar that's showing up. Though the plot isn't massively complex, it's dense, involving multiple references to previous Marvel shows while also shoehorning in a series of last-minute plot twists. Actually, there's not any last-minute plot twist. But hey, if you're not into that look, a giant red Hulk. And that was considered to be a good review. Oh my gosh. The lie in the title Captain America Brave New World can be found in the fourth word. There's nothing new about this chapter. Oh, yes, that's true. In contrast, Brave New World feels stuck, spending more time tying up loose ends from films like The Incredible Hulk and Eternals than giving Sam Wilson, now Captain America, more meaningful, anything meaningful to fight for. I can agree with that. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it real quick. I don't have a huge amount of time, but here we go. Captain America was a movie. It was made for millions and millions and millions of dollars. It probably would have served better to have been a Disney Plus show. Here are the issues that I have with the movie. Sitting through it, as a guest paying for this movie at a movie theater, I was like, you know what? I definitely could have waited for this to come out on Disney Plus or any streaming service. It wouldn't matter. There's no reason to go. There's nothing theatrical enough about this movie to go see it on the big screen. That is my first and foremost, right out of the gate. I want to tell you there's no reason for you to go spend your hard-earned money to march yourself to a movie theater to pay $11, $15, $20, $25, whatever you would pay, it's a waste. You're wasting your money. You're not going to be entertained enough. Look, at the very end of this movie, the theater that I went to see it in was virtually empty. Okay. I was sitting right smack in the middle of the theater. So there were two other people that bought tickets sitting right next to me because it's the best place to watch the movie in the theater. So I turned to them afterwards and I asked what he thought, because I really wanted to get the opinion of somebody besides myself to see if they thought what I thought. And he was like, it was okay. This is somebody who and his girlfriend or wife or whatever, she was actually wearing a whole Captain America get up with the backpack and everything. Big fan, big fans. And the best they could conjure up was it's okay. I thought he meant analogies too, not analogs. That was weird. But he wrote analogs. So, this is a Thaddeus Ross movie. This whole movie, by the way, is about Thaddeus Ross, now played by Harrison Ford instead of William Hurt. William Hurt, the actor that was playing Thaddeus Ross fantastically, by the way, in early movies. I think he's in Iron Man 2. He's in The Incredible Hulk. He's in Civil War. He's in Black Widow. He plays Thaddeus Ross in a number of movies. He's definitely in Endgame. Is he in the other one? Anyway, William Hurt played Thaddeus Ross fantastic, right? So in this movie, Harrison Ford picks that up from William Hurt. Now that's a true mantle, because you just have a different actor who's playing the exact same character, right? So Harrison Ford, this has got to be the biggest phone-in job I've ever seen. Or that's one possible take. The other possible take is the man is an elderly gentleman at 82 years of age. He just doesn't have the energy that he once had to bring to movies. Like when he was, this is at least the second time, if not more, that he's played president, because Air Force One, he played the president. So this movie literally starts on, I want to say I think it's his inauguration day, where he's being inaugurated as president, I think. I can't remember. It's not election day, I don't think. I think it's the first day he's actually president. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the election. I don't think it's the election. I think it's inauguration day. But it starts on him. My point is, the movie does not open up with Captain America. The movie opens up with Thaddeus Ross. It ends with Thaddeus Ross. The whole movie is about it. The whole movie is a Thaddeus Ross movie. Hola, Javier. Buenos dias, señor. I hope you're well. Thaddeus Ross is the character that has a journey in this movie. Anthony Mackie does the best he can with what he is given. I'm not going to disparage him taking the mantle of Captain America like other people will. I'm not going to say Steve Rogers is the only Captain America, because the way it was written in the MCU, this is what those writers chose to do with that character. And, it may not be what the fans want, but it's what the writers get to choose because they're writing it. And if it's not what the fans want, then the writers should have written better. So yes, it is. It's on the writers. It's on the writers to react to the fans and say, well, we should probably give the fans what they want, but they wrote what they wrote. So for that, I'm not going to disparage Anthony Mackie for playing the role. I will disparage him for not saying that Captain America represents America, but because that's ridiculous. I think Captain America represents in this movie American values. What are those values? He wants to fight for what's right, do what's right, and keep peace, and all of that stuff. As far as I could tell, for those trying to make comparisons between Thaddeus Ross being a bad guy president and Trump, I see no comparisons whatsoever. That's something on my screen here. I personally didn't see any comparisons whatsoever because Harrison Ford is so different of a personality than Trump is. Harrison Ford, to be honest with you, the way he's playing this role, he comes across a lot more like Joe Biden. And I'm not kidding. I'm not saying that he's exactly has Biden's mannerisms, but if you do go watch this movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Harrison Ford's version of the president comes across way more like Joe Biden. Comes across as a man who is sickly. He's not able to negotiate well. He does horrible on the foreign stage. Everything about the way Harrison Ford's portrayal of Thaddeus Ross is as president, not as Thaddeus Ross, because he really doesn't play the William Hurt version of Thaddeus Ross. He plays it. He's really like Joe Biden a lot in this movie. It's kind of creepy. Now that I think I really kind of just connected that thought in my mind just this very, very moment. But anyway, he's the one who is disconnected from his kids. He's very, very different. Does not come across at all anything like a President Trump. So if anybody had made those comparisons before, they shouldn't because they're not out there. But he does come across very much like a Joe Biden-esque, much more like a Joe Biden-esque, even to the point where remember where Joe Biden fell off the bicycle? There's a scene in which Harrison Ford's version of the president, Thaddeus Ross, is riding a bicycle, and he can't complete the task, right? Just like Joe Biden could not complete the task. He fell off. Very, very Joe Biden-esque. So I'm not trying to make it political. I'm just saying that's how the character was played. But the whole movie is about his journey. And I'm not giving away any spoilers in the movie. I will say this, there's a couple of cameos that could be very important and very essential, and they were completely wasted cameos. From beginning to end, this movie feels like really bad filler. It brings up something that happens in the Eternals with Celestial Island, and it's dumb. It's so dumb. It's ridiculous. It's their way that they're trying to bring adamantium into the MCU as if it didn't exist before, and yet Wolverine's had it for years. So it's just so many dumb things. OCDD93, what do you have to say? Let's see here. Brett Cooper did a piece on this yesterday. Anthony Mackie had everyone ticked off about what he said about not being America, and she had a really good take on it. Yeah, Brett Cooper has great takes on everything. I would agree with that. But here's the thing. Aside from that, Anthony Mackie played the role well enough, but he comes across as Captain America in name only. And what do I mean by that? Do I mean that he's like not really representing America? I'm just saying that he doesn't have all of the chops of the original Captain. Let me put it this way. In the very beginning, there's a scene that is very much an homage to the beginning scene in The Winter Soldier. Okay, if you remember watching The Winter Soldier 2014, 11 years ago, and they dropped Captain America out of a plane without a parachute, didn't need one. He dove into the water, climbed up on a boat, and kicked some serious booty, and the fight scene was amazing. Okay, they try to do a fight scene like that in the beginning of this movie with Anthony Mackie, and it's horrible. It's bad choreography, it's slow, it's clunky, it's boring, it's bad. And there were so many parts of this movie where I literally almost fell asleep because the pacing is off. This movie is like a jigsaw puzzle because it probably is a jigsaw puzzle. It's like a Frankenstein's monster of a movie. It's not put together well. Again, I don't want to spoil anything. It's just all I'm saying. And I want to do a spoiler review. So I might put a separate review and spoiler review up on the channel later. but in this non-spoiler review, what I'm saying right now is I would say that if you have any desire to see this movie at all and you happen to have Disney Plus, hold back and wait, because you don't need to watch this movie at the theater. Instead, just wait for it to come on streaming. Wait for it. Don't put out $40, $50, $100 to go see this movie at the theater. It's a waste. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your money. You might fall asleep. And I think you get a lot more out of it if you just watched it on TV as like the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, because that's kind of what it comes across as, is the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's way late to the party. At supposedly tying up loose ends from the Incredible Hulk in 2008, 15 years ago. Really? It would have been poignant if they would have done this movie in maybe 2021, maybe 2016, but now it's not poignant at all. She referenced the comic books and how Kat basically said the same thing. I didn't know that. I like Mackie. That's unfortunate that he didn't bring more to the part. Mackie was fine. Mackie was fine in the part. They gave him nothing to do. They gave him no growth. There are certain things rehashed from the Falcon and Winter Soldier television show. If you missed that show, you'd be completely lost. So it's totally pointless to go see this movie if you haven't seen the Falcon and Winter Soldier television show, because they gloss over some things that are really, really important. And I don't care how much vibranium that you put in a suit. If you get the hits that Anthony Mackie got, that his version of if you get hit like Sam Wilson got hit, no matter what you're wearing, you're going to be in pain. And you're probably going to have a lot of broken bones, and you might even be dead. Okay. Fact of the matter is, there were things that happened to him and hits that he took in this movie. He should not have survived in any amount of vibranium suit if he didn't have super soldier serum. And he kind of even tells that in the story. And Goen Shogi says Falcon Winter Soldier was my walking away point. Well, you definitely would walk away from this. Speaking of walking away, I don't want to walk away without another celebration. I am going to celebrate one more time before we head over to Culture Casino. Since since we're talking about MCU, I'm going to do the short MCU celebration. If you guys want to see the new celebration, I need to see at least a 99-cent super chat because I'm saving it for the good stuff. But for now, I do want to celebrate all of you just for being here. Thank you. I appreciate everybody coming in today. Thank you so much. Again, I have to head out a little bit earlier than usual today, so we're going to send you over to Culture Casino right now. I'm seeing if I missed anything in the chat before I head off. Doesn't look like it. Very, very cool. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody. Until next time, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao. Have a great Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Give your loved ones hugs and kisses and all that mushy stuff. We'll see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.